This screencast is an introduction to browsing the Ben Collin Fraser NAS-based photo database. This tutorial is meant to show the new user of this photo database how to effectively browse, search, and download the photos in it. As a user, you should log into the database over the web using the URL shown. After the connection is made, log in using the ID of browser and then enter the password given to you. Once you have logged in, you will get a top-down graphic view of the database. On the main screen, you will see the icons for people who have uploaded, tagged, and otherwise organized photos in the database. You can access the photos or other folders by selecting these icons. On the left side of the screen, there is a condensed album view of the photos in the main view. These can be expanded to lower levels in the album hierarchy. Finally, you can return to the top view by clicking in the top left corner. There are a few other things on the left side that you might be interested in. First, there are shared albums. This is where other users have selected a number of photos based on a specific search criteria and save that collection of photos to be shared with the rest of the users. This is great, but it is not dynamic. To do this requires one to access either Smart Albums or Portfolio items. Clicking on Smart Albums recreates dynamically all of the people and other category searches present in the system. It can take a while. The Portfolio section only requires rebuilding of the Smart Albums specified in the Portfolio categories, so it is a much shorter process. So, let's get to browsing. Let's suppose I want to look at all those photos that I took on our travel to Ballarat and Bendigo a couple of years ago. So I'll work my way down to that album and display the thumbnails of the first 50 photos. I can page between sets of 50 thumbnails at the bottom. For the moment, we'll stay at the first few. Let's select a picture to get a closer look. The first thing that we notice is that the person in the picture has been tagged as Linda. We can get some basic information about the photo by selecting this icon. We get the date, file name, and the caption if it has been set. We can get a lot more detailed information about the photo by clicking on this icon. We can see firstly if the photo has any people, location, or general tags. There is also detailed info associated with the image with regards to camera settings and processing history. The amount of info can be quite comprehensive, as you can see when I am scrolling through it. Let's return to the photo wall view using the X icon. Rather than browsing through the thousands of pictures available on this database, it would generally be more efficient to search the internet. If the people who have uploaded the photos to the database have been diligent in their tagging, descriptions, and/or album organization, we can locate desired pictures quite efficiently. To do a quick search, enter text in the search text box in the top left-hand corner of the screen. For example, I will search for grandfather on my father's side, Ben Luther Fraser. Great, we found the photos we were looking for. So what can we do now? We can look at the pictures just like we did before. We can share with others. Well, we'll talk about that a little bit later. We can download the picture, or we could start a slideshow. We can also display a film strip menu of the rest of the photos in the search selection. Let's go back to the photo wall. Let's suppose we want to download the pictures that we found from our search. Just click in the top left corner of the desired photos. Once you have selected one photo, you can select all photos in the search set from the on-screen prompt. Then you can download the photos by selecting the download action. The photos are downloaded as a zip file. I should probably mention at this point that you can't go to the single photo view unless all the photos at this view are deselected. Here is another more specific search. We went on a great holiday to Fiji with good friends Jenny and Tony Oliver in 2019. Suppose we were interested in finding any photos of Jenny and Tony together on that holiday. Here is the result of that search. Even as the browser user, I can save these results and share them to friends. Firstly, select all the photos. Next, we want to make a shared album, and in this case, enable all the commenting features. How does this sharing work? One we're interested in is this one. Okay, and we would like to have it so that we can share, so we get the sharing link, and so we could grab that link and send it to anybody that we wanted to share that with, but we can go to the link just to see what it looks like. So first we connect to the NAS. There it is. Let's just pick out a picture here, and you can see there's all sorts of extra stuff over here. A lot of it missing, but some extra. But for example, we could do something like, well, I'd like to say something about this camera. So I'll go down here and attach a note and say, is this an icon? Okay. And that note would now be attached. I might also want to mark this to say, well, the ones I've marked in red are the ones that these people think are particularly good. So it's now been marked in red. And if we go back to thing, you can see it's marked in red. Also, if you say, well, that's not really Tony, that's somebody else, what we can do is we can add a comment and say, well, that's coming from me, and I'm sending it to me, and the comments that I have are going to be, is that really Tony? Okay, I could submit that as a comment, but I can also mail that comment. Okay, so if I go here and I can say I want to send this to from me, and I want to say Tony, who is, and I put down not sure. And then what you can do is send that, and you can directly send to somebody your comments or what's going on. They can know what's going on there. Okay. Anyway, that concludes my introduction to browsing on my NAS photo database.